Welcome to Shorty's SuperCoach. Shorty's just going for a little cruise on his day off, making my way down to Lawn. So I just thought I'd do a little bit of a, not so much a weekend preview, but just what are we going to do with all the shit that's going down. There's a lot happening. You got Dunkley out for bloody a long time. You got Martin concussed, sitting out for a week. You got Neale. A lot of people would have brought him in. So there's a lot going on. I mean, the Neale one would really sting. You know, we've got issues across the board. You know, our back lines have already been under some serious chaos. I know even Zeeble, there was some concerns about him, but I haven't read anything since that there was anywhere worries about him for this week. But look, let's try and run through some things, and the main point will definitely be to discuss is I'm going live tomorrow at 9 o'clock, so that'll probably be the best avenue for me to cover off on exactly what you're thinking, because you know, that's half the reason I did these live ones, because just doing a video like this, it's very hard to sort of get an idea as to what a broad range of people are talking about. It's very easy to get sort of focused in on what you're looking at with your team and kind of be narrow-minded like that. That's probably been a good thing with the live sessions, that a lot of people, you know, ask me questions. I'm like, okay, a lot of people thinking about that or thinking about this. So, but for me, it is disaster. It is an absolute shocker of a season. In terms of the players I mentioned, you know, you've got to get rid of Dunkley. Dustin Martin, we keep. You know, it's just 1 week. I know it's going to hurt. And Dunkley, look, you've always got the option of swinging him into the midfield, but I think Steele Sidebottom is a really nice purchase at this price. He's playing massive midfield minutes now. Collingwood are under some serious pressure, and they need some wise heads in there, and they've just got a lot of injuries through the middle. He was fantastic on Anzac Day. Still probably isn't using the ball exactly like how we expect Sidebottom to do so. So I think, I know he's only had 1 ton, but the last two is like 90, 119. I think the time's now to bring him in. You could also mount the case for Dane Zorko as a replacement, because, you know, I think with Neale going down, Rayner's already been out for the whole year. Realistically, I know we probably thought initially he was going to get pushed forward, which was probably the case. Not so much now. They need him in there. So he's been going reasonable, similar price, something to think about. Keep an eye on Rowan Marshall. You know, he went big on the weekend, but he did have that 50 round, well, not round one, his first week back. And, yeah, so that probably gives, I think his break-even's like nearly 150. So he'll probably end up being around 510, 520, half a chance in a week or so. Just keep that in mind. You know, that there is a fair bit to think about with the midfield as well. You know, what you do with Neale. I mean, you could go Sidebottom in the midfield as well and just swing him. Callum Mills, I'm pretty sure he's available as a mid as well, I believe. He's been really, really good. You know, consistent with the odd big ton, which we saw on the weekend. But look, Neale, luckily, you know, I know it's bloody frustrating, but he has had a good couple of weeks, which at least means that his price is somewhat intact. I think it's about 580, so it shouldn't be too tough to find a replacement there. You know, Oliver's not too far away. You know, Petrarca did get a bit of a rise, but you know, there are a couple of guys that are running hot. So I'm sure you can figure it out in terms of the premiums. And just keep an eye on Jack Steele as well. He's just had an okay couple of weeks, couple of like 104s and that type of thing. So his break even's quite high as well, and I think we might be able to pick him up for, you know, maybe under 600k in a couple of weeks. You never know, but he's going to be a really good option going forward. So there are a few names to sort of think about. In terms of the rookie space, Jai Farah, if I'm saying that right, from Gold Coast, really like what he's put into the game. And I know he's only scored 59 on the weekend. He had a nice 80 in round 1. Mature age recruit, really looks like he's got a nice position for scoring points off half back. He's about 184, so he's a little pricier, but Finlay McRae just hasn't worked out what we had hoped, so that's a bit concerning. I wouldn't necessarily say bring him in, and it is pretty scarce, you know, through the midfield and forward in terms of rookie options right now. Really quite scarce. So McRae, we were probably hopeful would do a bit better, but he just went missing. He got some time in the middle, but he just couldn't get his hands on the ball. So really tough to figure out whether he's a guy we should go with. Probably not. But look, backline, Martin Fredericks, he scored 88 on debut. Pretty easy sort of game to debut in. The Port Adelaide were running right over the Saints. So just watch how he goes in his second week. And Nathan Murphy at the Pies only scored 47. But I really like the look of him. Sometimes it's not always about the score. I reckon he's got a nice roll-off half-back. I reckon he'll be capable of pushing out a few 60s, 70s, the odd 80, I reckon. And job security at the Pies, pretty reasonable at the moment. So stay tuned in terms of the teams, and feel free to come along to the live session, ask me any questions that I might have not covered off on today. You know, it is tough at the minute. There's no doubt about that. I've been having a pretty tough year, as we probably know, throughout the whole season. But I think most people, it's almost been impossible to avoid the carnage of late. You know, right now I've got Jordan Clark, comes on medical sub, just destroys us. I've got the Goey. Some people might be holding on to Ridley. You know, there's just, we're playing catch up. Like, I don't know about you, but I've been trying to, every week's presented a new problem, you know. Often you might have one or two things to deal with every now and then, but gosh, it's literally been every week, far out, how am I going to plug this hole, or how am I going to avoid this zero? So I think priority one this week will be avoid a zero. If you can do that, you're doing all right. So let's see how we go. We need a few rookies to come in. I think Riley Collier-Dawkins is expected to debut, so that should be something. He's pretty highly rated. They've taken a while to give him the opportunity, so I look forward to seeing how he goes. But 9 o'clock Thursday night, feel free to join for the live session. That's probably the best chance to really allow me to get what you guys are actually thinking. But yeah, like I said, I had the day off today and I was just cruising. Bought myself a couple of party pies and just got a little cinnamon donut. Shorty's just sitting out watching the waves. Just past Paddy Dangerfield territory, actually. Just past Moggs Creek at the moment. So, yeah, just cruising. But, yeah, I think that was about all I really wanted to discuss. But, yeah, in terms of captaincy options, I think VC certainly goes on Grundy. I think he's Friday night against the Suns. And we know that the Suns are struggling in terms of ruck options. So, definitely have a little dabble at the VC on him. He's really back in business. So, I'll catch you guys soon. Hopefully we can have a chat. Not just about SuperCoach, but footy in general, and there's been a good amount of trash talk on the live sessions as well lately, so that's always a bit of fun. I'll chat to you guys soon. Cheers.